Comic Chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nate, and with me today is my co-host and good friend JB.
Hello!
Combined the two there. I thought
yes,
you'd like that.
I did.
Yeah.
Very much.
Unfortunately today Ben is getting a haircut.
Yes, he is.
That's not a joke. And we have a guest presenter. So welcome, Dr. Welton.
Hello, my name's Rebekah.
Listeners may know you from your podcast. Do you want to give that a little plug?
Okay, my podcast is much less established. It's quite new. It's called Date Night with Delilah. I've only got like 5 episodes because I had a break for the summer because I was in Jerusalem for quite a while. And
what's Date Night with Delilah all about?
It's a podcast where I discuss movies and TV shows and possibly songs in pop culture and video games that are related to the Bible. And we just have a discussion as if it was a date night about what's going on in the film, what the impact of the Bible has been on culture and pop culture, and that's about it really.
Sounds really good. Sounds like your co-host would be really awesome on that.
I disagree. I think you should get rid of your co-host and get a new one.
Nate is my co-host.
Oh.
Yeah, it's me! We're the Nerds Chatting. We talk about movies and TV shows and comic books and all things nerdy. And last weekend was D23?
I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a little bit late. It's Friday. But yeah, there was lots and lots of news, so we thought we'd talk about it.
Shall we?
Shall we?
I'll do my best to substitute for Ben.
Oh yeah, but because you're the substitute for Ben, you've got to do the bit at the end where he talks about where you can hear us, like what social media outfits.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nate told you about that.
No, this is all news to me. Thank you. Thanks for
this has got increasingly awkward.
Yeah, you've got about 45 minutes to think of how you're going to do that. So.
Maybe you could go away and just listen to it. Anyway.
Yeah. Also, you've just got to say that everything is awesome and be a generally nice chap. Because then you're Ben.
Right.
That's what he does, doesn't he? He says everything is just the most awesome thing ever.
Yeah, but he likes a lot of stuff.
He does like a lot of stuff.
Yes, he doesn't say you're awesome, though.
No.
Never.
So the 2 bits of news before we get to D23.
Yep.
Good one first.
Oh, is it?
Or is it? There was a full trailer for Joker.
Yes.
What do you guys think about that?
I am intrigued. Well, I'm intrigued by the trailer because it doesn't actually even look like a stereotypical comic book movie. It's much more kind of subtle and moody and emotional and less kind of like kapow and, you know.
Nice kapow.
Everyone loves a good kapow.
Yeah.
But I am a bit worried about the writers because isn't one of the writers the guy that wrote like the Hangover films and a road trip film? But one of the writers wrote 8 Mile and The Fighter. So I'm just a bit dubious about...
it's the director, Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, yeah. So I'm just... And because I am a bit disappointed with some of the other DC stuff, like Suicide Squad, I don't have full confidence that this is going to be amazing, but I'm intrigued enough and I am excited to see it.
But you liked... We did a marathon of Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice Extended Edition, and Justice League.
Yes.
And you enjoyed them?
Yeah, I did enjoy them, yeah.
Well,
they certainly didn't have the same problems that I had with Suicide Squad.
Yeah. What did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was a really good trailer. I thought it was really sinister. It is dark. It makes... I think it's... I don't know. It looks quite scary.
Yeah.
I think it looks scary. Though I watched it and then I decided... I said to my wife, "Oh, look at this. This is a really good trailer," because I did think it was a good trailer. Do you know what her first comment was?
What?
No Heath Ledger.
Oh, well, of course.
Well, I know, but as in that was...
it's not as good as Heath Ledger.
Well, yeah. Is it going to be? Because that was, he was
the pinnacle, right? Yeah,
absolutely awesome as that character. Set it up to a whole new level. So
it's got a bit of that about it.
But
though, right?
I think, I was going to say, I feel like they're going after that angle after the Joker of Suicide Squad, and it wasn't that good. I think they're going back to...
It's a recurring thing here. Hating Suicide Squad.
They're going back to what they knew worked and what fans liked, and I think that there were bits where I was like, oh, that looks a bit like the Heath Ledger Joker. So I think that's the line they're kind of going down.
It's an origins film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So whether you're going to like that or not, because you're not a big fan of the origins film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's slightly different,
Origin film of a villain.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not the same as like, oh, this is the same heroic rise to power that we've seen.
No.
But will we be compassionate for him?
I think they might do, because it's going to follow that trend of what's happening more frequently recently, where you get a villain and you switch the perspective of the film and suddenly you become compassionate towards the villain,
like Maleficent or something.
Maleficent and Wicked, where you're on the side of the Wicked Witch of the West and she's actually not wicked, and this kind of trend of, oh no, bad guys have a heart and they're just misunderstood. I
still think he's going to be a psychopathic killer.
Oh yeah, but I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you see in the trailer that it looks like he is trying to be a stand-up comedian and he's watching himself on TV or knows that he's about to be introduced, and it just goes down like a real
like
bag.
a balloon,
and the presenter, I can't remember who it was.
It's De Niro, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes,
De Niro,
it is. Yeah. Basically goes, let's hope no one turns out like this guy, and he's just looking at it, and his face drops. He thinks that this is going to be his big moment, or that's what I'm interpreting. And then I think he's down on his luck. Is he the one dressed as the clown that then is running along and gets beaten up or hit with a piece of wood or something like that? So yeah, I mean,
I have to say his joke. I always told everyone, they laughed when they said I wanted to be a comedian. No one's laughing now. That's a Bob Monkhouse joke, which was very funny when it was originally
true
done.
story, is that?
True story.
Bob Monkhouse, look at him now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Showing my age a little bit.
I'm not doing that.
But the other thing is that there seems to be a real focus on his mental health issues. He's seeing a counsellor and he's saying, I have bad thoughts all the time, they're the only thoughts I have. And I wonder whether there's going to be a bit of a commentary on the current mental health crisis and the way that America deals with mental health or doesn't properly deal with mental health, and whether there's going to be a bit more of an interesting, deeper social commentary in this film rather than it just being like
100%. Joaquin Phoenix isn't going to do a movie that doesn't have that, right? He gets so into it. But on that, it doesn't look like it's set now. Does that make sense?
I think it's no. Go on. My thoughts are what you think it's.
I'm
But
wondering
it must be if it's a prequel and then they want to put.
That's what I'm asking. Is it a prequel, or is it just its own standalone, do its own thing? But if it is set in, say, the 80s, they could tie it in somehow. Is it important they tie it in or not?
Wasn't there, when we talked about, there were some stills that were released, weren't there, around Joker? Wasn't there a still with Batman in it?
I don't know.
When we talked about it a while ago, I'm racking my brains.
Well, is it more important that it's a film about mental health and social commentary than it tying into the other DC movies? Or the other way around? Which is more important?
But if Ben Affleck is saying that he doesn't want to be Batman anymore anyway, then it doesn't really matter, because this can be a standalone and then they can just make whatever comes after it fit in.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. It's just a weird... The state of DC movies is so weird. Like Wonder Woman 84 is coming out next year, and it's a sequel to Wonder Woman, but we also know Chris Pine's back in it. Spoilers for Wonder Woman, apologies, he dies.
I can't believe you just did that.
I'm so sorry.
Right.
But so it is a sequel for a movie that is tied into those things, but then we've got something like Joker, which might not be tied in, and then you've got Shazam, which is sort of... I don't know, there's like a disconnect as to whether it's a universe or not.
Yeah, where Marvel have excelled in that.
Yes.
You're not sure how it is all going to interlink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think we've said everything about the Joker. Got any more to say?
Well, maybe they will be stronger by not trying to copy Marvel, and maybe they do need to do a diverse range of different, moodier, darker adult films, and then fun family films like Shazam, and that's a way to hit a broader market, and it doesn't need to all be in a universe. I don't know.
I agree. I think it should be that. I think Batman vs Superman Extended is great, and it is dark and moody and different. So.
Yeah. But that is linked in to...
Yes, it is, but I guess I'm saying about tone. It doesn't have to copy Marvel's tone.
No, it doesn't. No.
Moving on?
Yes.
Okay, sticking with Marvel, some controversy.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is no longer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
You're
putting a face like...
Ooh, it's like the deep burn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is good.
So, apparently, Sony went to Disney, okay, there were talks that went on between Sony and Disney to renegotiate the deal. Apparently that was planned, it should have happened, and the internet first started with like, oh, Sony, you're so stupid. Oh, I can't believe you did this. Oh. And then more came out, and it seems to be that Sony is the one that's been like given the raw deal, because Disney turned around and said, no, we want 50-50 now of the profits, even though Disney get all of the merchandising profits.
Do they?
Sony only get the film ticket sale profits.
Oh, right.
So Sony were like, well, no, you get 5% of the profits of the movie, and we get the rest, and we make the movie together.
Yep.
And everyone's happy because we just made $1 billion movie. So why not? And apparently Disney were like, no, we made $1 billion movie, and it's only good because we made it, so we want more money. Is
this? I've got a bigger money sack behind me type of thing going on, and so I'm going to try and screw you.
Maybe, I don't know.
More power.
To be fair, Sony's not small, right?
It's not, but the last Spider-Man movies have been entwined into the MCU.
Yeah.
So by not having that, let's take Venom's Sony.
Yeah. That
didn't do very well, did it?
Well, it didn't do very well critically. I think it made some money. Oh, did it the other way around? It was very average all
Border average.
Yeah.
It wasn't Spider-Man Far From Home.
No, but
good.
They are making Venom 2. Your thumbs up.
Great, brilliant.
It's Andy Serkis is directing it.
Fantastic. He's got such a great background of being a director. So I mean, you make it sound like it's a good thing, you know.
Oh, right, okay.
If you said Martin Scorsese's directing, I'd be like, oh, that'd be quite interesting. I'm not trying to be rude about Andy. Yeah, it's not. I'm sorry, I apologise, but
I think he has directed one very good film.
Was that you think Mowgli? Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Oh,
no,
he did Mowgli.
No, he did one called Breathe or something like that.
Oh, it might be.
It was a very human story about lung problems.
Okay.
How do you equate that to a symbiote which takes over a man and goes around eating
Well,
people?
who's writing it? Because usually the person who writes the screenplay has...
I don't know.
A lot. Okay.
Good questions, Rebekah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Stop being sensible. But Tom Holland said he apparently at first he like unfollowed Marvel on Twitter, which is such a young person thing to do.
Of course it is.
But,
you.
Yeah, but now apparently he's like, oh yeah, back with them, and he's committed to now being Spider-Man no matter what they do in the future.
Okay.
So.
But presumably that meant Disney felt like they weren't really going to lose very much by no longer having Spider-Man in their universe.
Yeah.
Doesn't really say a great deal about what their opinion of Tom Holland as Spider-Man is, or the character Spider-Man. Well, if they're like, oh, we'll still make brilliant films without you, you don't add anything to this.
My counter against that is maybe they didn't think the Spider-Man films, even with their input of linking it into the MCU, would do as well as it has done. As well as they thought it would do.
Right.
Does that make sense? So they might have just gone, oh yeah, we'll get the merchandise, it's fine. Yeah. But then when it turns into, did you say a $1 billion?
Yeah, $1 billion movie. Yeah.
Now, and only 5% of that compared to 50% of that, doesn't matter how much merchandise.
Yeah, you're still losing money.
You've almost got like a winner every time, isn't it? I'm going to bet on this because it's going to be good. So maybe they underestimated the power of these movies and how well Tom Holland's been as Spider-Man.
Most people
and coming back to the writers and the storyline and everything else like that, how great it's been. Because it has been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, Ben. Sorry, Ben.
We love you, Ben. So yeah, would you guys be happy to see a Tom Holland Spider-Man film in Sony Spider-Man movies?
What kind of stories are there that they could use?
They've got
70 years of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know, but that aren't in any way connected to the rest of the Marvel universe.
There are a lot of stuff because Sony owns Spider-Man, they also own all of Spider-Man's subsidiary characters like Venom. People like the villains like Dr. Octopus,
Green Goblin,
or Kraven the Hunter, those sorts of things. But they also own Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse. Just put Tom Holland in the next Spider-Verse movie. That's what I reckon you should do.
So he can transition between live action and animation.
Well, put him in his live action.
In animation.
Yeah, because the Spider-Verse, right? There was a cartoon pig, and there was
I get what you're saying.
Just do a different one.
I guess the point
like
here...
a reverse Two-Framed Roger Rabbit.
Exactly.
Oh, what a great movie, by the way.
Wouldn't that be a great movie, though?
It could be.
Spider-Verse was great. Did you see Spider-Verse?
No.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was really great.
Someone else has told me it was brilliant. I don't normally listen to Nate, but now you've said that, Rebekah, I'm going to watch it.
It is really fantastic.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's like... visually fantastic.
Yeah, I guess.
The story's good as well.
Oh, yeah,
I guess
true.
it's all the tie-ins. That's all this. What we've got at the moment is, are people that love the Marvel elements going to go and watch now a film about Spider-Man that hasn't got all of those? Like, I guess the Kree and the Skrulls won't be there.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
totally,
so
yeah, they can't do that.
no, all of those, all of those
any
bits.
of the Avengers. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, the two Spider-Man films that were standalone in the Marvel's cinematic universe were very focused on Iron Man. I know you haven't seen Far From Home, but it was a lot of Iron Man-y stuff in it, right?
Well, yeah, it's basically been building Spider-Man up to be the new Iron Man.
Yeah.
As you've been telling me and been drummed into my head on all these podcasts, you know, so as a character, Peter Parker is a very intelligent person who has really good with technology, etc. So he is an almost flip of Iron Man, but without the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
look at me, I learned something.
So basically what you're saying is the next thing that needs to happen is we need to see Spider-Man at university, and then maybe doing a master's, and then a PhD, and then he can take on this
it's going to be
super
Spider-Man
brainy...
a little bit further from home.
Yeah. No, he can't, because the Parker luck means that he never completes his assignments on time, and he can never be in two places at once, and the Green Goblin's blowing up a city, but he's got to go and put in his PhD thesis, but he can't get to both, etc., etc. That is literally a storyline from the comic books.
Oh, is it actually?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he fails his college completely because he's being Spider-Man.
I've forgotten the character that Aunt May is getting with, which isn't from the MCU.
Oh, Happy Hogan.
Yeah, well, their relationship's broken now.
Yep.
Thank you, Marvel and Sony. You're a marriage
Home
wrecker.
wrecker.
You're a home wrecker.
But there's a female Spider-Girl that was in Spider-Verse.
Yes, so she's technically called Spider-Gwen, which is an awful name. She's Spider-Girl, yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe she can still be in the films, maybe they could...
No, because Sony still own that. Sony own anything Spider-Man related.
That's what, no, I'm saying, in the Sony films.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So what, you say make a movie just about her?
No, not just about her, but in the next Spider-Man film, introduce her.
Oh, I see, like a live-action one. Yes, sorry,
Yes.
I was sticking with the Spider-Verse thing.
Yeah,
sorry.
No,
get out of
absolutely.
animation, Nate.
I
Get
know.
your head out of that bucket.
There's tons of Spider-Women.
Well,
Loads
let's
of them.
have a Spider-Women film.
Yeah, I'm well up for that.
Yes.
Jessica, what's her surname? Can't remember.
Rabbit?
No.
Chastain.
No, the character is one of the Spider-Women women is called Jessica. I wish I could remember her surname. Anyway, but she's not got Spider-Man's powers. She's got slightly different powers. But her storylines are all like spy thriller stuff.
Okay.
And it's really good. It's really good. Spoilers, she might be a sleeper agent but doesn't realise it. For the enemy, and then when it happens, she then gets turned on to the evil plans, and then it's like, oh, I'm conflicted. I don't know if I want to do that or not. So it's good. It's real
cool.
good. Yeah, it's real
Brilliant.
There we go, Sony, if you're listening.
Yeah, damn right. I'm gonna hashtag them in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get to D23?
Yes.
Oh, please.
There was lots of news. We've skimmed some of it.
What does
out.
D23 stand for?
I knew you were going to ask me this, and this morning I thought I'd best put a Wikipedia link in for it, and I forgot. It was originally the fan club, I believe, for Disney 23, and then it expanded. It got so popular that it then became the Expo. So it was like
that's exactly what it is.
D23.
Okay.
And then they would have a conference for members because they're big fans.
But it's not the Disney club like Christina Aguilera
No,
and Justin Timberlake
it's
were
for,
in?
No, it's not. That's for actual famous people. This is for normos like us.
Okay.
And,
Speak for yourself.
It got so big and popular that they started having conferences, and then those conferences got so big and popular that they then started announcing things. And it's now because Disney own Marvel, etc., Star Wars. They've decided to use it as their platform for releasing news, much like the big Comic Cons, the San Diego, etc. So
cool.
It's a big expo conference.
Yep.
And I've broken this up into Marvel and Star Wars. Is that
Well
right
done,
with you guys?
Yeah, I think you've done a great job on this today.
And I've cut some stuff out because there was a new
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp trailer. No one cares.
Sorry.
Snore.
Yeah, and there was a poster for Bucky and Falcon, and the only thing to say about that is that he's got a haircut. So great.
So you cut it out, but you've talked about
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Movie news, Marvel.
Yes.
So we had loads of movie news at the Comic Con a
Yep.
couple of weeks back, and then they've announced some more. Black Panther 2 is coming.
Awesome.
I mean, no surprise, but
Yes, because just to confirm, when you watched it, you didn't like it that much. Then you rewatched it and loved it. Correct?
that was my Captain Marvel review.
Right.
Black Panther 2 is...
No, Black Panther
Black
I'm talking
Panther
about.
was good, but not as good as everyone made out to be, in my mind.
Fine. So a lot of people who spent a lot of money were wrong.
No, it's a totally
I'm
entertaining
fine.
movie. You're trolling me. I
A
know.
little bit, yeah.
It's a totally
This is
entertaining
my troll
movie.
face.
I just don't think it's the Oscar-winning movie that people suggested it was.
What Oscars did it win again? My mind's gone.
It was nominated
Was it music
for
and
tons
stuff?
of stuff.
Yeah, well, it was good then, wasn't it? So...
Black Panther 2.
We haven't got any idea what the story is yet.
No.
It's just that it's out there. Have we got any confirmation on actors?
No, I mean, we'll have the dude who plays Black Panther, his name has slipped my mind, back. But also Ryan Coogler, who directed it, is directing Black Panther 2.
Good.
So that's good. It's weird that it's called Black Panther 2 when the other Marvel sequels that have been announced are called, like, Thor, Love and Thunder, and... Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse, or whatever it's called.
What's Iron Man 2 then? Has that got anything?
No, it is, but I'm saying the latest string of sequels have all got subtitles.
Okay, fair enough.
But isn't that because they just haven't announced what the subtitle is? They're just
Yeah.
like, okay.
Although there was a picture, there was like a title like Black Panther with a 2 next
But
to
they
it.
can edit that.
Of course they can. But
I'm looking forward to this. I love the movie, so I've got high hopes because of based on what I've seen before. Same director, tick.
it's probably my favourite Marvel villain.
Villain?
Yeah.
Who?
The Killmonger in it.
Yes.
Was amazing.
Who played Killmonger?
Oh God, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
I remember saying in the review that I would watch like a whole movie of him doing that because he just holds the screen. So
Yep.
yeah, but then spoilers, he did.
Yes, I think brilliant news.
You like Black Panther?
Oh, I
didn't you?
loved it. I think it's fantastic.
It's miles away though. It's going to come out in 2022. Crikey,
That's not that far away. It's 2.5 years.
that's quite.
A lot can change in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel that far.
No, okay, fine.
For movie news, that doesn't feel that far.
Okay, it's exciting news. I think it's really exciting news.
Yeah.
Sticking with movie news, Eternals. So Eternals was announced ages ago, got confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con a few months back. But what they did at D23 was they basically rolled out all the cast onto stage and they put some concept art of them in their costumes behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Looked great. Looked very colourful. Looked like dumbed down Power Rangers-y type stuff, that when you go, oh, that's that character because they're in green. But also they announced that Kit Harington has been cast in the movie. So Robb Stark and Jon Snow reunited for a movie. Thoughts on Eternals?
So this is one of my lesser known Marvel comics things.
Yeah.
Whatever. I would say I'll watch it. I'm not sure.
I think
It's all about gods and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's
I've made a
bit-
massive
it's a
judgment there.
It's a little bit Guardians of the Galaxy because it's got a lot of cosmic-y stuff. They were based on Earth in a lot of the comics as well, but they're going to be the new Guardians of the Galaxy style franchise of movies, I think.
Okay.
It's a big ensemble cast. It's going to be dealing with, like, say, godly type-ish stuff in the Marvel universe.
Which hasn't really... I guess a film so far hasn't really addressed that.
No,
I
Thor
mean,
is kind of mentioned, but like
yeah,
they
but
kind of just say he's an alien.
Yeah, but I mean, pure gods, just all...
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. We'll see.
I think the cast is amazing.
Yeah.
The cast is amazing, and I don't think there's any reason why it would be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'd definitely go see it.
I imagine we will see a trailer and everyone will lose their minds for it. I imagine it'll be Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Captain Marvel all rolled into one because it's going to be cosmic-y, it's going to be teams of people, it's going to be some amazing actors and actresses. I think it'll be great. It's just there's so many question marks around it. But then that was true when Guardians first came out, and that was true when Iron Man first came out, and Marvel were good at that sort of thing.
They are very good.
As long as they work cohesively work cohesively as a team, and there aren't any like crazy problems with writing or production getting halted, and then they're having to go back and film new scenes, and then stuff being like has happened with so many films that seems like they're going to be really promising, and then it actually just all doesn't work because the story doesn't make any sense or stuff has to be edited out. As long as none of those problems happen, I think it's going to be great.
Well, the benefit that Marvel has is they have their own studios.
Right.
So we talk about something like Warner Brothers or Paramount or Sony or whatever. They have their own lots, right? But they're making movies from different franchises and timings, and the actors go off and do different things. Marvel signs people up for 3 to 5 movies, and they have their own studios.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much like, well, we're going to do reshoots? Fine. Well, that's where it fits in the calendar. We're going to do the reshoots.
Yeah.
So it's not quite... they've got the factory of movie making, made up, right? So
Okay, cool.
yeah, I'm keen for it, and it's Angelina Jolie in her first superhero type movie. I mean, she was Maleficent, but
Yeah, that's more Disney fairy tale.
yeah,
stuff.
but I guess she's got superpowers and she's jumping around with CGI and things, so it's a little bit similar. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Happy days.
so that's the end of the movie news from there, and there's 2 bits of TV news, but with lots chucked in. First one, very quick, WandaVision. So WandaVision is one of the Disney Plus TV series that's been announced.
Nice.
We knew that it was coming, but lots of questions around it because Vision, again spoilers, was killed in Infinity War.
Yes.
Didn't come back for Endgame. Was kind of like powered by an Infinity Stone. So when that was removed, and then they were all destroyed, you kind of think, well, so they weren't destroyed, were they? They were put back in their place, so maybe he's still got it. Anyway, we don't know what's happening with Vision, and so when they announced there was going to be a series of it, it's like, this is weird. But the poster they've released... Tell me what you think about the poster before I give you
It
more
looks very
context.
Homestead.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of those like Fallout, where it's like it's in the 50s and there's about to be that kind of...
Oh, like the Fallout games, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got like a 50s home commercial type thing, like buy this fridge and we're all happy families.
Well, and what people have done with those now is they've made birthday cards or something and put some sort of funny...
Yeah,
on
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for someone to do that on Twitter. Do that because it'll be funny.
Ah, that sounds really good. I would like that. But for nerds of comics, what this tells you is that it's going to be following the Tom King run on Vision, in which Vision goes a little bit off kilter and creates his own family and lives with them in a house, and it's got like these different layers of psychosis and who's real and what's reality and what's not. And at the same time, you've got Wanda, who in the comics, her powers are reality altering.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to move more towards that. And again, with her, she had a mental breakdown in the comic books and used her powers to create 2 children, and then realised they weren't her real children, which made her break down even further, and she wiped out all of the mutants from the comic books.
Wow.
She had like a huge like breakdown, and because of her, the entire Marvel universe was changed permanently. So it looks like they might be moving in that sort of direction with this show. It might seem like a fun 50s type sitcom comedy, and then turn into something darker and a bit like who is messing with reality and what is real here.
This could get really confusing. This is something that you can't take... It sounds like you can't take your eyes off it, because within about 5 minutes, you're probably lost. Whilst watching this show.
Well, did you see? Oh gosh, I can't remember what it was called. There was an FX TV show there was actually an X-Men TV show about what's it called? Legion. Did you see Legion?
No.
But that was about a guy who had he was a mutant who had multiple personality disorder and also reality altering powers, and so that entire show was psychedelic and reality shifting. And I think what Marvel are doing is saying, right, well, Legion was really good and considered really positive, so let's make one of those. So this poster does all of those things. It tells us all of that stuff.
Cool.
Thoughts on that sort of show?
That's deep, and
Yeah.
I didn't see that, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that could be really interesting. But like I said, that's compared to when I sit down and watch Marvel films, I don't turn my brain off, but I enjoy the fun and the frolics and
The bright lights and colours.
That happens. No knife lasers. No knife
lasers. No.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
This could be something completely different, but really interesting. So a different take on maybe Marvel going into that sort of what DC do in that darker type of place.
Well, they've said that Doctor Strange is going to be a bit darker, the
Right.
Doctor Strange sequel, and it apparently will tie into this. That was the one thing they said it would tie in. So if that fits perfectly with what you're saying, if this is a darker tonal story and then goes into that movie,
I'm really excited by the sound of that, because I do like that aesthetic of like on the front everything looks all sweet and perfect, and like the woman's done a really good job at making the home look all lovely, and it kind of follows that kind of did you ever see the film Revolutionary Road with Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio? So it's that same kind of style as their newly married couple, and they've got this perfect life, and then everything kind of goes down. I mean, there's nothing like supernatural or sci-fi about it, but it's that style. Similarly, like in Fallout, like everything looks all great and everything's happy, and they've got robots and everything's lovely, but then there's this great dark underbelly of the world, and then so I do really like the idea of having that juxtaposition between affluent white people having a lovely life and everything's okay, and then actually no, there are underlying issues in society that are going to creep up on you and are disturbing, and this is a way to talk about, again, this kind of social, maybe it's going to be kind of a social commentary, like then so I am really intrigued in that. The thing is, every time somebody says the WandaVision series, I just think WandaVision the band, and it takes me a while to realise that it's spelt a different way.
I don't know that band.
Well, it's like a teenage...
Oh, okay.
And I don't even think they're around anymore. Okay. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I hear the number one division. One division. Right. Every single time I hear somebody talking about it.
I hear long division. As in the maths. Okay, so moving on to some new stuff in TV news. 3 TV shows were announced that weren't announced before. Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk.
Right.
Do you guys know anything about these characters?
I know a little bit about She-Hulk.
Okay.
Only a small amount.
Go with
she's
that.
the female version of the Hulk.
That is correct.
Thank you.
She's Bruce Banner's cousin.
I got a chuckle.
Yeah. She's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. She's Bruce
look at Rebekah knowing a little bit more. Damn you and your Wikipedia. I don't believe you.
Yeah. So she's Bruce Banner's cousin, and in the comics, and she needs a blood transfusion, and the only match is Bruce.
Oh wow! What unlucky.
So Bruce gives her blood, and
can I just see?
Guess what? She gets her Hulk.
Can I just say that in the comic books, I can just imagine the
panels.
The panels, how it will be just like, there is a risk, this could happen, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the first drop of blood goes through, you can just see her face just like. Anyway, sorry.
Will they do this like as if current Bruce Banner Hulk, who's already constantly green?
I think so,
will
because
give the blood transfusion, because surely like. The alarm bells. This is obviously it's not like he walks in as looking like a human and it gives a normal.
But I think they will, because that will explain how she is. Because in the comics, she has control over whether she turns green or not.
Does she?
She does. She doesn't, air quotes, Hulk out quite like Bruce does. She can, or if she's pushed too far, like sometimes when she's in a fight and people are like getting on her, or she sees someone in danger and her emotions get the better of her, she does rage out. But generally speaking, she's Jennifer Walters, normal human being lawyer, and she can just go big, and she just becomes like 7 feet tall, super muscular. Great
is she woman. Is she more intelligent than... Is the She-Hulk more intelligent than the Hulk?
No, it's the exact same person.
Okay.
So literally she's just stronger and green.
Yeah, but what I mean is that when Bruce Banner is Bruce Banner, he's the scientist. The Hulk is just a big smash.
Yes, so yeah, no,
that's what I mean.
But there's no difference between Jennifer and She-Hulk. They are the same person. She just can
She
turn
physically
on.
changes, but she's got the same mental ability.
Exactly.
Oh, right, okay.
And cognitive.
Thank
So
you.
what's-
I think that
so-
really helped me there.
Two more interesting things about She-Hulk, and I'm really excited by this show. This is the one I've really wanted as a movie or a TV show.
Do we know
as
who's
well.
playing?
No, we don't.
Okay,
We've
fine.
just been whoa.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right. We're game on.
Okay, cut that out.
Game on.
Is that she's a lawyer, so a lot of her storylines are just her being a lawyer, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Just standing around as a green, hulked out lawyer.
Yeah.
But also, she is like Deadpool in that she knows she's in a comic book. She's aware, she's self-aware. So she breaks the fourth wall and talks to the reader, which I hope they do in the show.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm really excited for this.
So what are you telling me? She's in the courthouse as the She-Hulk?
Yes.
And then also as her normal self?
Yes. The world knows that she's
Unlike
Bruce Banner. At the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
The penny drop moment.
Really interesting character. Really
Fine.
fun. Dan Slott wrote her for quite a while, and he's he's a very good comic book writer, but he writes a lot of comedy stuff.
Okay.
And he wrote it in a very humorous way, and I hope they follow that.
She breaks the fourth wall for comic effect, like Deadpool does.
But not quite as wacky as Deadpool. She's
Okay.
not Deadpool wacky. She's just self-aware.
Right. Okay.
I like this.
So, does this have the potential to attract audiences that are fans of like The Good Wife and Suits and stuff like
Yes,
that?
absolutely. What I really want from this, and I don't know if they'll do it, but I really would like, is no superhero stuff at all.
Really?
I want a sitcom-y, not quite sitcom, but like funny courtroom drama, happens to be in the Marvel Universe with a giant green woman.
Are people trying to? Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. My one worry or reservation about this is that if she does Hulk out, if she does let the emotions get the better of her, I'm just worried it's going to play into this women can't control their emotions. Because at the moment, if it's that she does always have control over hulking out, it's quite good because it breaks that stereotype of men are rational and always under control and never get hysteric, in air quotes, and whereas women have no control over their emotions and become hysteric and can't possibly be rational and are irrational. So if that's breaking that stereotype and she has control over hulking out, whereas the male Hulk doesn't, that's really good. But if they then put in scenarios where she gets pushed to her limits, I don't want that to happen too often because I don't want to enforce that stereotype of women being irrational and letting their emotions get the better of them.
It's rare in the comics. I've only read it twice in the comics. One time she was just in a fight and it got too big, and another time she saw someone who she loved get killed, and she was just in the fight and it just went and got too big.
Okay,
and that happens to lots of characters in the comics. What were you going to say, James?
I was just going to say it's really interesting you talk about that because did you read? I think either yesterday or the day before about Marco Pierre White, the chef, basically says that female chefs are not as good as men because they can't control their emotions.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he has been branded.
Everyone ban him from everything.
Are too emotional and cannot lift heavy pans. He has been branded as a rambling dinosaur, but I just thought I'd drop that in just as a topical thing. We don't need to go there.
No,
it's
not.
It's not a hand grenade in
No,
there,
no,
and
no.
let's go on about this. But I just thought how poignant that was.
Right, any more thoughts on She-Hulk before we move on?
I think complete different take. Very interesting. Didn't know all the stuff you said. I'm in.
Okay, Moon Knight then.
Yeah.
Moon Knight is essentially Batman for Marvel, but he's got multiple personality disorder and he wears white.
Fine.
There you go. That's Moon Knight.
That is. It doesn't say that on Wikipedia.
No. So he literally jumps around rooftops fighting crime. The last Moon Knight that I read, his multiple personality disorder manifested as having Spider-Man and Wolverine constantly with him, and then after a few comics you realised they were in his head. But it was the stereotypes of those characters where Spider-Man was like caring for people and trying to save people, Wolverine was like go and slash that person in half.
No, this sounds really interesting, but I'm guessing that because they're going to be on TV, they're probably going to be short runs, aren't they?
Yeah,
for like
10
one
episodes maybe. Yeah.
But that's it. You're not going to get multiple seasons of this.
Depends how popular they are, but yeah, they're planning for one, I think.
Because I mean, I guess with like the bigger known MCU characters, whatever,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Iron Man, blah 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 blah. They work across hundreds of issues of comic books, whereas I guess Moon Knight, was it?
He's definitely not had as many, but like he'll have a resurgence every now and then. So he'll sort of run for 5 years, and then the sales will drop off, and they won't do it. And then a couple of years later, they'll say, "Oh, we're doing Moon Knight again."
Okay.
So it's not quite as big, yeah.
No, sure.
Is it like the Split character where he manifests as having completely different personalities?
Yes.
But the thing you said about Spider-Man and
Wolverine, well, like
was,
in his head, yeah. So
did he act like Spider-Man or like Wolverine?
Yes.
So it was.
But also for the reader, you saw them beside him, talking to him, telling him to do those things.
Okay.
And he also has different versions of him out about.
Like Split does.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's going to take a really good actor.
Yes.
And we don't know who the actor is yet.
No, and they might not do all of that. I mean, they have changed characters before. They might just take a few.
That sounds really interesting.
I know, it is really good, yeah. Anyway, Moon Knight. A lot of people have been calling out for Moon Knight for a long time. He's a cool character. He's interesting. He apparently he got some powers from an Egyptian god. I want to say it's Khonshu, but I'm not making that up. But that might also be in his head. He might not have got those powers. He might have just thought that he had.
So it could be that he doesn't have any powers at all.
Yep, could be. Could be he's just a vigilante. Could be he has powers.
Vigilante.
Darling.
Oh.
So the last one was Ms. Marvel,
Right.
who in the comics is an Inhuman. I don't think they'll do that in the series because Inhumans did not do well. And they
No,
want
it
to
definitely
forget
didn't do
about
well.
that, yes.
Yeah, they want to forget about
So
that.
she's a young Muslim girl living in New York who has powers because she's an Inhuman. Her powers get triggered, and she can kind of make herself like super stretchy. She's a bit like
Elastigirl?
yes, and a bit like she is, and she's a bit like Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic Four, but she does it slightly differently. So those characters make their arms long, or they stretch over. What she does is she makes herself like 30 feet tall, and makes her fists into like the size of a truck, and like.
Does she blow him up like a Popeye thing?
I don't know. Let's hope she does. But she's a really popular character. I haven't read any of her comics, but she's really popular. It's really interesting, different take. It could be quite funny. She's a young character, good for young audiences. Yeah, I'm interested.
Cool.
You guys?
I'm really interested as well.
Yeah.
So how does that character learn about Captain Marvel? Because that's the inspiration, right? That's why she
Yes.
calls herself Ms. Marvel.
So Captain Marvel is flying around doing things, and she wants to be a superhero too, so she makes her own costume.
And how does she get her powers?
So in the comics, she's an Inhuman. Inhumans are a type of... Well, they've got Kree blood in
Yeah,
them.
so and basically they're what happens is that they'll something will trigger for them to...
Yeah.
They almost go into like a coma. In Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they basically go into this cocoon,
Yeah.
and then they kind of become reborn as the same... They're the same person, but then all of a sudden they've got like superpowers.
So in the comics, it's like that. Only there's a thing called Terrigen mists, which the Inhumans control. And if
Yes,
you
you can blow it on.
if you
it's
breathe
like text,
in,
isn't it?
yeah, you breathe in the Terrigen mists, and it triggers your powers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited for this because, well, for the diversity issues of
Yep.
having a mainstream female Muslim character
Yep.
is just absolutely incredible. Also, I loved Captain Marvel. I'm really glad that, because she's a female superhero, and well, for me, her whole story was about finding strength in the experience of having been knocked down repeatedly by men throughout her whole life, to then pass that on and inspire future generations of females. I think it's such an empowering message to give to young girls and young women today. I think it's going to be great. So I just hope it's really, really good and gets a really big following, because I think it's these kinds of stories that really are formative for young people and inspiring. So
Marvel don't really do bad stuff,
No, I
do
know,
they? I mean,
that's
they.
true.
I know I said Black Panther I didn't think was as good as everyone said it was.
but it was good. So
It
don't
was a
worry
good
about that.
movie. It was a good movie. I just don't think it was an Oscar-winning movie. I don't think it was that sort of style of movie. My point is, they always make high-quality, fun...
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, and I think
Content.
what they do is that they have it's consistent.
Yeah.
They're all consistently good, and
Yeah.
then you'll get an awesome one.
Yes.
And then the next one to come along is it's not awesome, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Whereas, as I've said about the DC universe,
Yeah.
it's not quite the same as that. You'll get a really good, awesome one, and I think Wonder Woman was absolutely
Love that
outstanding,
movie.
and then you'll get something which is just an absolute pile of cack.
Yeah.
Venom.
Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say something then. Oh, like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fairly forgettable movie, but it's still really entertaining when you watch it.
Definitely, I'll definitely watch it. Yeah, watch it again. It was fantastic.
Should we move on?
Yes.
Right, the last section is Star Wars.
Oh.
So, very good.
Thanks.
We've got some 3 bits of TV news.
Do it.
So, who in this room liked Rogue One?
Me.
Did.
Oh no, another.
They did
Look
not.
look at his face. It was almost like, "Hi, I'm going to chop your arms off."
I think I need to rewatch it because I probably would enjoy it now.
How many times have you watched it?
1 and a bit.
Okay, what happened with
Oh,
the
dear,
bit?
yeah, what happened on the
And
I was distracted.
how long was the bit?
Not long.
Okay, fine.
I think it looks amazing, and I just think it's got a bit of a silly story. I don't really like the woman in it, but that's probably just my issue with that particular actress. I don't think she's very good. What's her name? She was in. Oh my gosh, she was in the one with Eddie Redmayne.
Theory of Everything.
Yes, and she was in another film with Eddie Redmayne coming up soon. Doesn't matter.
You carry on.
I
I'm
think she was in A Monster Calls. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
am
not
I-
keen on her. Anyway, Rogue One. Did we like the character of Cassian Andor? Can
Yes.
everyone remember that character?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting a TV series that's a prequel to that movie.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, they can do what they want with it, and then I'll judge whether it's good or not. I can't say that I was like, oh my gosh, what was his backstory?
Yeah.
that didn't cross my mind.
No, that's a fair point. That is a really good point.
But
But he's got K2SO, right? That was his partner, wasn't it? Was K2SO one of his robot?
was that the depressive robot?
Yes.
I mean, I did like that. So if that means that robot's coming back in, then yes, I'm into it.
He was the Imperial droid that was reprogrammed to be a good guy, and he was voiced by oh my gosh, the chap from
Alan?
Joss Whedon. It's
No.
Alan Tudyk. It's Alan
Yeah.
Tudyk. He was what's Joss Whedon's sci-fi TV show that I really should remember?
Firefly.
Firefly. He was in that. You're looking at me deadpan.
Wait, you want the main character of Firefly? Is that what you're asking for?
That's Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
No, Alan Tudyk's in that, and he voices K2SO, and I
Right.
believe he's coming back for this TV show as well.
Oh, that's good, because that was a great robot character. I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, the droids are pretty interesting in the
Yeah.
modern ones.
Yeah.
Like the I can't remember the name of the droid, but from Solo, who was voiced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge,
Yeah.
who becomes
The Millennium Falcon.
the Millennium Falcon, like the actual brain of it. That's great.
Awesome.
They're doing some really interesting stuff with droids.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cassian Andor.
I think it's going to be. I agree with Rebekah. It was a good character in the movie. Do I really care if there's a backstory? I don't know, but the fact that he's an intelligence officer and he's going to go on like lots of risky trips. Could this be Star Wars Mission Impossible?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I like it.
Question mark?
Yeah. I think he's a pretty likable actor, isn't he? He's got like a
Yep.
he's got a good swagger about him.
Yeah.
I like
Swagger.
him.
Yeah. All good.
Cool. I feel like it's a very non-story.
I guess.
Until we see a trailer for it,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah.
Well, I guess it's because you've seen one film with this character in. I think.
yeah.
Is it?
No,
And,
it's just him. Yeah.
and so it's kind of like, well, okay,
Mm.
where are we going? Let's go.
Big news though, TV news.
Yeah. Go on.
Obi-Wan TV show
Mm-hmm.
starring Ewan McGregor. No, pulling a face again.
I don't know if I liked Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Oh, he's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he's the best thing
Even
about
with
the
his
prequels.
awful British accent.
Hello there.
Yeah.
I'm well up for this, and it's set.
Well, you're up for the character,
Yes.
not necessarily the person playing it.
Yeah,
Anyone
true,
could
yeah,
play
yeah.
it.
Yeah, true. But I think he's good, and
Okay,
it's
fine.
set 10 years after, or 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. So it's just before. So it's when Luke is like 8 to 10 years
Oh,
old,
right, okay.
and Obi-Wan is on Tatooine watching over him.
Right. Okay.
So you can have a young Luke in it,
Yeah.
which means you could spin off with some young Luke stories if you want to.
Yep.
You've got Obi-Wan being a Jedi but on his own, and what stuff he gets up to.
Was he the
I
only
think it's
Jedi at that point?
great. There's
No,
him and Yoda.
Yoda's somewhere on.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the planet.
Dagobah
system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thoughts we like.
Yeah.
Big character. I'd love to know what's going on through that big gap that's happened. I'm just wondering how it's going to tie up lots of things.
Yeah.
Because obviously, he's looking over Luke.
Yeah.
His aunt and uncle will know he's there.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, because he gave them to his aunt.
Yeah,
and
but
uncle.
but he then went away. Did he say, "Oh, if you need me, here's my calling card"?
Well, probably. But in A New Hope, when Luke comes back to his aunt and uncle, he says, "I think these droids used to belong to Ben Kenobi," and his uncle says, "That old wizard's just a crazy old man. Stay away from him." So he does know about him.
So he lives in the shack just round the corner.
He
Is that what
does,
you're saying?
yeah.
There's a sign up. Don't walk on my land or something like
no
that.
trespassers.
Kids here, no cookies, no nothing. That type of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And I think they'll do some fun stuff. They'll probably put in. I mean, you could put in a young Han Solo, even younger than he is, couldn't you? Because he's on Tatooine at the beginning of A New Hope. You could do some stuff in Mos Eisley. You could, it ties very, very closely into the next thing.
Yeah, go on.
The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Well, you asked me, we were walking here, and you were like, Mandalorian, that's
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, right? It's not Boba Fett, I don't think.
You don't think?
Well, Mandalorians in Star Wars are a race of people that are a little bit like Klingons. They're like all about honour and warring factions, and they're somewhere between Klingons and samurai. Right?
Yeah.
And they don't join up with the rebels or the Imperials. They're separate.
Yeah.
So the way that you always recognise the Mandalorian is their armour,
which looks like Boba Fett.
Which looks like Boba Fett because Boba Fett was a Mandalorian.
Yes.
So there's this new TV show called The Mandalorian, starring Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones fame.
Is he the dude that gets his head squashed?
Yes.
Yes. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I just want to make. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, Red Viper. Is it Red Viper?
Don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just when he's. Oh God.
He gets his eyes poked out.
Oh my
awful,
God! Yeah, he's walking around because he thinks he's beaten.
the mountain.
Yeah, and he hasn't. Man comes back and just crushes his head.
Oh
my God! Okay.
This trailer though.
Yeah, the trailer looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited.
This could be TV breaking. I'm not joking. People I think are going to go absolutely nuts for this.
But I have never watched the animated Star Wars TV series.
So there's Clone Wars, which was very well regarded. I haven't seen much of that. But Rebels, everyone should watch Rebels.
Okay, and I haven't seen that. So for me, Star Wars, it's always a film. I'm only used to Star Wars films.
Okay, right.
And I'll always go see them in the cinema, and I love them, and I grew up on them.
Yeah.
It was kind of my dad's method of babysitting me, was just, let's watch Star Wars. So I'm very...
What a great way of babysitting as well. God.
My grandparents did that to me as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Why did I just describe my dad as babysitting me? He's my father.
No.
He was caring for me.
Yeah, wait, hang on.
I am your father. I call it babysitting when I'm looking after my kids.
That's terrible.
When the wife
It's
goes
your
out,
job.
I'm looking after the children. I'm babysitting.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. It is my job.
So for me, the fact that all these three things are series and not films. I mean, when I watched the Mandalorian trailer, it just felt like I was watching a Star Wars trailer because that's all I can envisage Star Wars being.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I don't know, a bit worried of like, that means that some episodes might not be good as others, and that might mean that there'll be filler and like, how will Star Wars look if it's a series and not a film? And that for me is a bit like, I'm a bit unsure about that because I've only ever watched the films, so I'm just a bit like, I kind of secretly wish these were films.
Well, let me put your mind at rest a little bit. Apparently, each episode cost around $15 million.
Is that all?
If they do 10 episodes, that's $150 million, which is half of what a Star Wars movie costs.
Wow.
So it's going to be super high quality each episode, because $15 million for an episode of TV is a lot.
It is.
But they're going to make a lot of them, making lots of money because you have to get it from Disney Plus subscription. It's a sensible
Which
move.
we can't get.
Not in the UK.
Not yet?
No.
Or never?
They're saying sometime next year, even though the rest of the world gets it in November.
this is going to increase international piracy.
Yes. Is this because are they doing it because of Brexit?
No, I think there's some
or because the Parliament's been suspended.
Yeah. You're getting very topical.
Yeah, of course I am.
I think there's some legal stuff about licensing in the UK about Disney properties because Netflix owns some of it and Sky owns some of it and who knows what else. So they're having to just unpick that before they give it to us.
Sort it out fast, please.
Well, it is dumb, but they need to put a lot of money into sorting it out because they're going to lose a lot of money.
Of course they are.
In piracy. They absolutely will.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mandalorian looks
shit
amazing.
hot. Sorry, going to put out there. The first swear word, and we are nearly just over 55 minutes in.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
That is good.
And it wasn't a strong swear word.
No. You're fucking great. So any more about the Mandalorian? I mean, there's so much in there. There's so much in that trailer, but I haven't. What else do you say? He's very cool. There's other droids in there. There's IG-11, which is another bounty hunter. So he's a bounty hunter, right? That's his storyline.
Yep.
There's carbonite freezing in there, and there's these gadgets,
it's just bringing all the stuff together from like the three movies that we know well of, New Hope, etc., etc.
Yeah.
In that point, because he's not in the new ones.
He was in Attack
the
of
Mandalorian.
Clones.
Yes.
Jango Fett is in that. And Boba Fett as a baby boy.
Right.
But obviously it's a different character. Well, I say obviously. We don't know.
You never know.
Should we get on to the big bit? The big thing?
Yeah.
And there's only a little bit of this big thing, but it was Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Firstly, the poster.
Awesome.
What did we think? Awesome. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Fine.
A lot of people said that the Emperor in the background looks cartoony.
It's a tiny bit cartoony, but then his face isn't a real face.
No.
So...
Yeah.
But it just confirms the Emperor's definitely in it. I mean, we kind of had that suspicion.
Yeah, we did. With a laugh at the end.
Yeah. And then we got a trailer.
Yes, we did.
It was filled out with lots of stuff from the other movies that have come before them.
Which I just want to say that I thought was really good.
Because it's like nostalgic.
It's nostalgic. We're coming up to the Endgame Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this big building to this crescendo of...
Yeah.
I mean, this is the last Star Wars film in terms of...
This saga, the Skywalker saga.
Star Wars saga. So it's big.
It is big.
And so it made me feel nostalgic. So if anyone hasn't seen the preceding films to the new ones that have come out, they might not get it.
No, yeah.
They might not get it. But
most people have seen Star Wars, though.
I can name 3 people that haven't that I know.
Wow.
What? And they went to go see...
And they might have seen the newer ones.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
right.
Yeah, so it's not as, in our clique of nerds. Yeah. But anyway...
So we got some stuff in there, right? We got more of the team together. We don't often see all those people together.
Nope.
No.
They're often off their own storylines.
Yep.
Nice to see them all in one team. Carrie Fisher's still in it, even though she died 3 years ago.
That's insane, isn't it?
It is insane, but they've reused footage of
They have, so they've kind of put her head.
That's fine. I think it's a really nice thing to do
with different costumes and things, and they put different backgrounds in and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's clever, and it's. I mean, say what you will about The Last Jedi. I enjoyed The Last Jedi, but I did think that there was a good opportunity to kill that character off in that.
There was.
Then we get C-3PO with red eyes.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, before that, we get the shot of all the Star Destroyers in a row, in like a fleet.
Yeah.
And they all look like they're sort of turned off. There's no power, it's just the lightning in the background.
Yeah.
My prediction is they are protecting the clone of the Emperor.
Yes.
And C-3PO triggers them to turn on, which is why his eyes go red, because he's going to become evil, become part of this network of evil Empire stuff.
Do you know, if the heroes in the film have to get through that, all I'm thinking about... Do you remember that computer game where you've got it's a really old one, I can't remember what it's called, you've got the slider at the bottom with the ball,
and you've got it, or something.
Whatever it is, and you've just got to ping you've got to get the ball back, and
exactly.
knock one off, one
It's probably called Ping.
Ping. It might be called Ping.
Yeah, so
You don't know though, do you?
No.
Well, no, but there's loads of versions of that game.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to call it Bing.
Bing. It just looks great. Though,
It did look. I mean, how many Star Destroyers are just there rocking up?
Yeah.
Look awesome.
Kylo Ren's still in it. Kylo Ren is probably the best villain in Star Wars. Controversial because of Vader, but I think he's great.
Oh, is Vader going to be in it?
Could be.
Because my question is, okay, Return of the Jedi. We've got all the. You've got the ghosts.
Yeah.
Where have the ghosts been? Have they just been having a party?
Yeah.
People can just pull them on them whenever they want to, yeah?
Force party,
Yeah.
It's true, because Yoda turns up in the last one.
Yeah.
So he could have turned up and dropped any time.
Where is Anakin? Because he was.
Yeah, because he's now Anakin as opposed to Darth Vader.
Yeah. So maybe Anakin as the ghost should be telling Kylo Ren, "Don't do it, mate."
Actually, it's a really good point. He should have popped up every now and then going, "Look, I know what you're thinking."
It's like that
but
devil.
Actually...
It's like that angel and devil on the shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah. And the last bit of the trailer, we see Rey clearly in evil cloak with double-ended lightsaber that flips round.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Well,
my thoughts on it was that I don't really want Rey to be evil and then have a man be good, or her to be evil and then be saved by a good man. I just think that we need to move in a more positive direction with female Jedis, but then I don't know what the point is of making her go through a phase of evilness to be brought back, or why are they even teasing it? Or I mean, it would be good if she could do something like embrace the dark side but use it for good, so that like it was some sort of amalgamation of both, that she can use the power and not have the power use her.
Right.
But I would because I just don't want it to be this kind of thing of like, oh, she was too weak and she succumbed to the dark side, and a man had to come save her. Like, I just don't want it to go. I don't think that.
I don't think it will. I mean, I think in all of the Star Wars films, you're either good or you're bad. Yeah, there's no real in between from a Jedi.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was some of the speculation of the Last Jedi, was because Luke is all talking about how the Jedi were bad as well.
Yeah,
and I think there is a suggestion of like these grey Force wielders who they don't go towards the light or the dark, because...
But wasn't Kylo Ren saying something about like there being a balance or something?
Yeah, and yes, well, the whole Skywalker thing is
about balance of the Force.
And obviously the Sith are, air quotes, evil, because they want to like dominate and kill. But the Jedi also have got very strong dogma and very strong rules that are not necessarily always good.
No.
So, yeah, you're right. Maybe there should be a character that, like, say, brings balance and is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
I actually think it's going to be a vision or a test for her. Because,
a bit like in Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, so in Empire Strikes Back, he goes into the cave and he fights, air quotes, Darth Vader, and when he kills him... the mask explodes and he sees
his own face.
Yeah.
So, and I think the fact that they put that in the trailer is great, because people are going nuts.
Yeah.
We posted up on social media. Well, Ben.
Yeah.
And got a lot of feedback off of that. There's lots of opinions on it.
Yeah.
And we haven't even spoken about whether Rey's an actual clone or where she has come from.
Well, that was if she was a clone of someone important, so a Skywalker, the Emperor, something like that. That would fit with what Kylo Ren said about her parents being nobody.
Yeah.
So clearly they want to make her into a somebody, and she is a somebody in her own right. But the fact that it's called Rise of Skywalker does suggest...
Yeah.
I mean, it does suggest Kylo Ren's going to take on the Skywalker name and... suggest that way to me.
That's why I felt scared that it was going to go down this route of, if Kylo Ren is the one that takes on the mantle of being the Skywalker, then that means that he's going to in some way surpass Rey, which means that then Rey is going to need like saving or changing or protecting or something, and that's why it's the title that made me worry that that's the direction they're going to go in with Rey.
I think the one thing I didn't like about Rey's first appearance in the films was that I felt that whether it was a male or a female, the fact that she was just able to use her powers really, really simply.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren had some training, and when he was trying to go into her mind, she was just able to fight him off really, really easily.
But then hopefully they'll explain that.
Well, I want that to be explained.
Yeah.
Because it may be that somehow she has been trained, and all of a sudden, when C-3PO with his red eyes turns something on, that could trigger something in her.
Yeah.
It was just like I said, the character was awesome, but the fact that she could just do everything, it was like a James Bond character, or an Ethan Hawke in Mission Impossible. It's just like, oh god, yeah, but we've now got to jump out of a plane. Luckily, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm now going to fly into a helicopter. Let's fly that then. For me, it just felt a bit too Swiss Army knife type of I can do everything.
I guess there's Yes, she could do too much, perhaps, but there was like a Messiah type quality to her.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like Neo from the Matrix, right? Like at the end of the first Matrix, he has all those powers without really being trained. I mean, he has some training, but then he can manipulate the code, can't he? At the end, so it's a bit like that. I thought. Like
Rey does some training on that island with Luke.
Yes.
So now she will have it.
Yeah, so she's now got that training, and she's now controlling it as not controlling it. She's
channeling the Force.
She's got better understanding of it. Maybe that's what I want to say. So that's cool. It's cool.
It's not far off. It's December.
I know. I think I might need to watch Last Jedi again before I watch this.
Yeah, I feel like there's
a Star Wars epic.
There's an epic we could do here.
God, what, right from the start?
It's not one day though, is it? It's many days.
Many days.
Yeah. Do you do solo? Do you put Rogue One in?
No. Just a Star Wars saga. Okay. We said you started at the start. Start.
That was it. That was D23.
Awesome.
Thing is, though, if people want to get hold of us and message us and find out where they can listen to other podcasts, where can they do that, Rebekah?
I think that they can go to Twitter and follow @nerdschatting.
Yeah.
And they can email nerdschatting@gmail.com.
No.
Close, though.
Close, very good. nerdschatting@outlook.com.
Yeah.
Outlook?
I don't even know.
What?
When Ben does this, Nate and I are normally just
we're done.
We're just doing something really funny. I don't know, not listening.
Yeah. There's also Facebook and Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, where can they listen to us?
Do you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I'm sorry.
Guest on the show doesn't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, well, we don't do the social media.
No,
Ben
we
does.
don't. Ben is awesome at the social media. What does Ben do well? Social media.
Yeah. So that's it then. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Bye everyone.